Welcome to the Science of Transformation, where we explore the powerful intersection between neuroscience, subconscious work, and the human potential to evolve. I'm Izzy, Nalley, metaphysicist, hypnotherapist, and business strategist, and someone who is endlessly fascinated by why we do what we do and how we can change it. Today, we're diving into something that affects every single person on this planet. Why your brain goes on autopilot, and why it can feel like your habits and reactions are happening to you instead of by you. So if you've ever wondered, why did I do that again? Or how did I end up here without realizing it? This episode is going to feel like turning on the lights inside of your mind. So let's get into it. Well, let me ask you something. Have you ever driven home and when you've pulled into the driveway, you realized you have zero memory of the last 10 minutes? Or maybe we don't want to admit the entire ride. Maybe you've grabbed your phone, opened Instagram, and only later thought, I don't even remember picking my phone up. When did I pick this up? Or maybe you found yourself reacting the same way in a stressful conversation, even though you promised yourself you would show up differently. These moments make us feel like passengers in our own lives. But the truth is, most of our daily actions aren't conscious choices. They're neurological shortcuts. Your brain is acting before you do. And there's a scientific reason for that. I want to share with you a quick story because I think you can relate. A client told me once, Izzy, I don't have a discipline problem. I have a disappearing problem. I keep making the same decisions over and over. I forget that I made them because autopilot takes over and I go back to my old ways of doing things. And that hit me because she's not alone. We all have disappearing moments when our intention fades and our habits step in. And those moments can feel so frustrating, even shame-inducing. But instead of judging yourself, what if you understood that your brain is doing exactly what it's designed to do? This is where the transformation begins. Not with trying harder, but instead understanding the machinery inside of your mind. In neuroscience, there's a term for this. Automaticity, the brain's ability to turn repeated behaviors into unconscious, energy-saving routines. You repeat something enough, a thought, a behavior, a reaction, and the brain says, let me take this off your plate. I'll automate it. And that automation gets stored in the basal ganglia, the brain's structure responsible for habits. That is why when you reach for the same snack, you default to scrolling, you react to the same tone in conflict, you replay old emotional loops, you drive familiar routes without thinking, you procrastinate in the same pattern. Your brain isn't making a moral judgment. It's not asking whether the habit is helpful or harmful. It's simply following the strongest neural pathway, the path of least resistance. And here's the wild part. Your subconscious initiates the action before your conscious mind becomes aware a decision was happening. That's why it feels automatic, because it is. So why does this happen? Well, there's 3 reasons. 1, energy conservation. Your brain is a high energy organ and it loves efficiency. So automating any repeated actions reduces cognitive load. Number 2 is predictive processing. Your brain is constantly predicting what you'll do next based on your past. This is why emotional reactions repeat, not because they're true, but because they're familiar. Number 3, your nervous system prefers the known over the unknown, even if the known isn't helpful. Familiar equals safe and new equals effort. So that autopilot loop is your brain trying to keep you alive. It's surviving. It's not trying to keep you stuck. And so here's the good news. The same mechanism that wires habits is the mechanism that can rewire them. And that is the science of transformation. So this is where things start to get empowering, because once you understand why your brain behaves this way, you can interrupt the loop. Transformation doesn't start with motivation. It doesn't start with willpower. It starts with awareness. The moment you notice you're on autopilot, the moment creates a crack in the neural pattern. You can then choose something different. You can break the loop, you can redirect the pattern, you can literally reshape your brain through neuroplasticity. Every new choice, no matter how small, becomes a vote for the identity that you're becoming. So awareness, the repeated conscious action, equals rewired pathways. And this is the foundation of every transformation you've ever admired. So here's the question for the week. And I want you to really reflect on it honestly. What habits are you living on autopilot right now? Are they working for you, or are they working against you? That is just the beginning of your transformation. So don't judge it, just notice it. Awareness is the doorway. Rewiring is the work. Transformation is the result. If you loved this episode, share it with someone who feels stuck in old habits or patterns. They might need to hear that nothing's wrong with them. Their brain is just running an old program. And next week, we're diving deeper into how to break those automatic patterns and build a new one using that neuroplasticity. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. Thanks for listening to The Science of Transformation. I'm Izzy Nalley, and I will see you next week.